What if I told you that these guys in the picture, the union leaders, led by Oilfield Workers Trade Union President General Ansel Roger, assembling at a historical landmark like Charlie King Junction in Faizabad to incite deep emotions among workers? They are fully clueless. They are not preparing you for what is coming. They are not preparing you for the fact that having an 8 to 4 job might not be your main source of income in the near future. This sounds like madness, right? But stay with me. In this video, I will tell you about the mind blowing transformation happening today. We are breaking down how artificial intelligence and automation are changing the rules of money, work, and wealth. And most importantly, how you can position yourself now to protect your financial future when wages stop being the main way people survive. This isn't hype. It's happening globally, and Trinidad would not be spared. Let's get into it. Hi, welcome back to my channel, The Third Bara, where we talk about investing in stocks on the Trinidad and Tobago stock market with the goal of attaining financial independence. Welcome back, folks. And it seems that, as usual, we will look at my portfolio, the current status of my portfolio. And it seems that within the last week, there's an uptick in the gains of my portfolio. I've been trying to figure out what was the reason for that. But as of right now, my holdings are performing at 3.1% year to date, whereas the Trinidad market is not doing so well. It's currently performing at minus 2.6% year to date. So I was looking at the stocks in my portfolio and I'm thinking in the last week, it seems that NEL stock rose almost 10%, well, 9%. Guardian Holdings rose up 2.71%. And let's see. Well, Prestige Holdings rose up 13.33%, and I'll get to that in another video. There has been a lot of news around Prestige Holdings, but I'll save that for another video upload. So currently, my portfolio value is 515,690. Most of the gains, of course, come from my dividends. Dividends are estimated, my dividends so far is 31,801, and the capital gain so far is 14,160. So collectively, the CGR, or the annual return on my portfolio currently, is at 6.1%. So it's doing well right now, despite the current economic woes in Trinidad. And as you can see, the stock market and the economy are actually two separate things, although they are linked. So that's it on my portfolio. So in the intro, I spoke about wages and how artificial intelligence can impact wages in the future. And there is a day that's coming soon where your income primarily will not come from a wage. But what was I talking about? Before I get into that, I need to get some the technical stuff out of the way. So let me explain. There is a term called technological singularity. And this is a theoretical future point where artificial intelligence or other technologies advance so rapidly that it results in an unpredictable or irreversible changes to human civilization. While speculative, thinkers like Ray Kurzweil, Venor Vinge, and Nick Bostrom have proposed possible stages or milestones that might lead up to it. So let me just describe the stages. There are 5 stages towards this singularity, this technological singularity. Stage 1 is narrow AI or weak artificial intelligence. In this stage, AI systems designed for specific tasks. Example, language models like ChatGPT, image recognition, and recommendation algorithms. There is no consciousness or general reasoning. This is where we are right now. And actually, some people may argue that we are beyond that. Stage 2, this is broad AI integration. This is where AI becomes embedded across industries like healthcare, transport, finance, and governance. They begin to automate complex multi domain workflows. Early multimodal systems like AI that can see, hear, and reason are used in limited ways. It gains sophistication, and we'll get into that. In this stage, AI begins augmenting rather than replacing human decision making at scale. When I say augmenting, so in these white collar jobs, these engineering jobs, these healthcare doctor jobs where they try to diagnose patients, you'll have AI helping doctors perform diagnosis. Stage 3 is artificial general intelligence. And if you go on the news, you'll be hearing this term a lot. In artificial general intelligence, AI reaches human level general intelligence, meaning they are capable of understanding, learning, and reasoning across a wide range of tasks, just as well as a person. AGI can autonomously perform intellectual work as flexibly as a human. This will result in huge societal, ethical, and economic implications. This is considered a major tipping point. Note, this is artificial general intelligence. The 4th stage is called artificial superintelligence. This is where AI surpasses the collective intellectual capability of all humans in virtually every field. So we have AI performing at an above PhD level in every aspect, from science, art, problem solving, and strategy. Technological and societal changes accelerate beyond prediction. So people can't even imagine what that sort of society, what the impact to society would be at this stage. This stage is also cited as the moment of true singularity. Stage 5, this is post singularity era. And the outcomes are highly speculative. I mean, if we can't imagine a society at stage 4 with artificial superintelligence, then the next stage is post that. We expect radical life extension, virtual realities, digital consciousness. There will be literally people living in the real world and people living in the virtual world. There will be new forms of governance, ethics, and basically all human civilization. Of course, this will come with great risks. This includes loss of human control, AI alignment challenges, and existential threats. Think what they call the uh, remember the show Terminator? Well, that was just looking at the bad stuff, right? But that when they say AI becomes self-aware, I guess this is what they call post-singularity era. And it's all theoretical and highly speculative because we can't even imagine a society like this. So great. Now that we know what the stages are, and you can see there's like a timeline that I provided you. So right now, 2025, we are at a weak AI. We actually beyond that now because right now there are agents performing tasks. Anything you can see on a screen, there are agents that can click, point, and do specific tasks though. Right now, we are working towards artificial general intelligence. But of course, there's a stage before that, broad AI integration. So this is where we are augmenting human tasks. As we begin to integrate AI, where tasks would take a team of people, let's say 5 individuals, as we begin to incorporate AI, we no longer need that many individuals. So perhaps we just need one specialist with an AI instead of a team of 5 people. This is where companies are transitioning right now. So what we are saying is that between now and 2030, we begin to integrate AI in our companies. And we can see that right now. So remember, we are well past stage 1. And I would argue we are midway into stage 2. But instead of me complaining, let me show you what's available and what's happening right now in terms of automation of complex multi-domain workflows and how companies are now slowly embedding AI and automation in their industries.
Well, the robots have arrived, at least in Pasadena, California. That's where the world's first ever fully autonomous AI-powered restaurant has opened, complete with burger flipping bots. We sent CBS's Joy Benedict on a taste test.
Flippy the chef makes spuds spectacular. This automated grill gives the meat its sizzle as this restaurant goes robotic.
For this burger, it would take about 120 seconds.
Cali Express by Flippy is the world's first AI-powered eatery. There's new technology outside the kitchen, too.
A cheeseburger.
Order kiosks use facial recognition to remember you, your favorite food, and how you like to pay. Then watch the robots work. No humans required.
Welcome to the future of dining, happening right now in China. No, this isn't CGI or a futuristic dream. It's reality. Imagine walking into a restaurant where no waiters rush around, no chefs yell orders across a noisy kitchen. Instead, robotic arms and AI-powered systems take care of everything, from cooking your food to delivering it straight to your table. It's not just a novelty, it's a game changer in how we think about dining out. Let's start with the heart of any restaurant, the kitchen. In China's automated restaurants, human chefs are replaced by robotic arms that work with unmatched precision. Picture a robotic arm effortlessly slicing fresh vegetables, stirring a wok, or boiling noodles to perfection. These machines are programmed to replicate the skills of master chefs, ensuring every dish is cooked just right. Whether it's a perfectly seared steak or a steaming bowl of noodles, the robots execute recipes with incredible consistency, speed, and hygiene. Once the food is ready, the magic continues. Say goodbye to waiters weaving through crowded dining rooms with trays of food. In these futuristic restaurants, robots take over the job of serving. Self-driving delivery robots glide smoothly between tables, carrying hot dishes with the utmost care. They use advanced navigation systems to avoid obstacles and ensure your order arrives piping hot. Some even greet diners with cheerful messages, making the experience not just efficient but fun and memorable. Customers also play a key role in this seamless system. Ordering is done via touchscreen menus or mobile apps, making the process quick and intuitive. You can browse a wide range of dishes, customize your preferences, and watch as your order comes to life in the open kitchen. Many of these setups even have screens showing the robotic arms at work, turning the meal into a live performance. It's like dinner and a show rolled into one. Beyond the spectacle, there's practicality. These robots don't just look cool, they address real challenges. With rising labor costs and the need for consistent quality, automation ensures every dish meets the highest standards. Plus, in a post-pandemic world, contactless dining offers an added layer of safety and reassurance for customers. But let's not forget about speed. In a busy hot pot restaurant, for example, robotic arms can prepare ingredients and serve dishes at lightning-fast speeds, keeping up with even the hungriest crowds. And because they're tireless, there are no delays or mistakes due to fatigue. This efficiency means shorter wait times and happier diners. What's remarkable is how widespread this trend is becoming in China. From fast food chains to high-end restaurants, automated dining is taking the country by storm. Each setup is tailored to the cuisine it serves, whether it's delicate sushi, sizzling stir-fries, or classic noodles. And the result? A dining experience that's as futuristic as it is delicious. So, what does this mean for the future of restaurants? In China, it's clear that automation isn't just a gimmick. It's the next big step in the evolution of dining. It's a perfect blend of technology and tradition.
So, those examples I showed you are from restaurants and factories that are in China right now, 2025, as we speak. And you might argue and say, well, that is so far away. That's not going to affect Trinidad. But technology doesn't ask permission to cross borders. Look at what's happening right now. I saw an email from First Citizens Bank. They have now integrated AI in their workflow process. This is augmenting. Whereas before you would have to call someone in the bank to sort out your password, they now have AI doing it for you online. So that's someone. Where do you think that someone is right now? Maybe they're doing other tasks, or maybe it would have been a vacancy that the bank no longer has to hire someone for. This is happening right now as we speak. And if this Labor Day celebrations in Trinidad, no one is talking about this, if they're still talking about PNM policy or UNC policy or opening up Petrotring, short-sighted things like this, COLA, or the percentage increase in cost of living allowance and all that nonsense, if they're still talking about this as if we are in 1962, then I'm sorry. These union leaders, our politicians, they are sorely mistaken and they are leading you astray. They themselves don't know what's coming. Let me show you an example of something. Because there is a debate that's going on where people are saying that technology, AI, is like what happened to in human society when they invented cars. So we can see in the picture on the left in 1900, Fifth Avenue in New York City, the entire street is filled of horse and carriage. And you can see one vehicle on the street circled in red on the left. And in a mere 13 years, if we go back to the same location, Fifth Avenue, New York City, we only see one horse. The rest is vehicles, is cars. So people are saying, just as what they were saying back then when the vehicles were invented, people will say, what will happen with all the jobs that's going on? Human society does adapt. So now with the new technology, we have new types of jobs. So before where we had jobs that had to take care of all the horses, now we have mechanics and mechanic shops and vehicle parts stores to take care of the vehicles. They were new type of jobs. And people are saying that integrating AI now will open up new types of jobs. So yes, it will be replacing old jobs like those stable boys that took care of all those horses. it will be replacing the old types of jobs to new jobs on the right, where we have now mechanics. And this is one argument. But I think that argument is sorely short sighted because in the picture on the left and the picture of the right, humans are humans, right? We just adapted to new technology. But in this new stages towards singularity, technological singularity, the better analogy is that in the picture on the left, humans today are actually the horses. And when we reach, as we advance towards this technological singularity, as we integrate AI and autonomous systems in our work, on the right side, it's now going to be one human in the street, surrounded by autonomous robots and AI agents doing the job that we used to do. That's the difference. We will be replaced. We are being replaced. And this is the challenge. Capitalism demands that we do things more efficiently. We are doing it better. We are doing it faster. We are doing it cheaper. And we are doing it safer by replacing humans with autonomous systems. It's a fact. At some point in time in the future, we don't know the timeline. We know it's close. But at some point, your job will be either replaced or augmented by AI systems. And when you no longer have a job, then how will you survive? That is the question. But it actually gets a whole lot deeper. So let's all agree that with the current progress of artificial intelligence and artificial general intelligence, where they will have broad integration of AI systems, this is going to have a huge societal, and ethical and economic implications. And let me get into what are the economic implications of this towards society. And I'm talking about Trinidad. So, I mean, this is something that's coming, and we need to have a national discussion about this. We have moved beyond the 1960s thinking, and our union leaders seem to be stuck into that mindset. Because if we look at the average person, there are only three sources of income. The main source of income is your wage, is the job that you're doing. That's the main source of income. If you're smart, like my subscribers, you will also have income generating investments. This could be real estate, this could be stocks, this could be bonds. We have spoken a lot about this in my channel. So that's supplemental income. We also have what is called transfers, which really means government subsidies. So in the US, they have social security benefits. In Trinidad, we have BIR benefits, we have pensions, we have different governmental payments that we benefit from. But outside of those three things, that's it. That is what gives us income. So as we approach this broad integration of AI systems where AI starts augmenting, this is the stage we're at right now, as I showed you with the First Citizens Bank. Someone's losing their job. So when you lose your job, are you suddenly going to transition to becoming a machine learning, cybersecurity expert or some robotics experts. No, I'm talking about between now and the next 5 years. Whatever you're a specialist in now, you might lose your job in the next 5 years. How? As I said, and you can analyze your job. All entry level jobs are going to go out the door because the AI systems right now can replace all entry level jobs in any industry. Once you start a computer, when your job begins and you're at an entry level position, right now we have AI systems that can replace you. And as capitalism drives towards efficiency, you can see it. It may start with the multinational companies. It's definitely going to start with the banks. Banks are going to start integrating automated systems where they can have slowly begin automated systems, for example, to get a loan. As governments begin to digitize, once you digitize your data, then that is the food that artificial intelligence need to do their work. So once you start hearing things like Arima becoming a smart city and everything is getting smart, quote unquote, that's talking and drive towards digitization. Once you digitize things, then it's in bytes, ones and zeros, and artificial intelligence can use this. All software computer programming jobs are gone. So then what are you going to do? Well, you can look towards the trades. But I can show you a clip right now with robots now being developed to do physical work.
Tesla's robot Optimus is turning heads with a new viral video showing it performing house chores, leaving the internet both in awe and alarm. Often referred to as the Tesla bot, the humanoid machine uses natural language processing and internet videos to learn tasks.
So if you transition toward trade, yeah, you're going to last longer, but you're going to delay the inevitable. At some point in time, they're going to be an autonomous robot, even if you're doing a trade that can do exactly what you are going to do. It may not be in the next 5 years, but at the current trajectory we are at, is going to be in the next 10 years. And the impact of this is twofold. What people are sort of talking about now is mass unemployment. That's a given. But it gets deeper because if everyone becomes unemployed, or not everyone, if a large percentage of people become unemployed, then all these goods, products, and services that are being provided, how are people going to pay for these goods and services? Where is the demand coming from? And that is where it comes to, in the future, there needs to be a new system of compensating humans in society. Because if we are no longer going to be working, then how are we going to get money to buy? When we buy stuff, that's where the demand comes in. Additionally, if we have a lot of people, a large percentage of the population that is not earning income, guess what? They're going to be social upheaval. And governments need to manage that transition. And there are theories coming out right now in all those Ivy League schools. There are theories coming up in terms of how they can use ownership, property management to supplement income to individuals that have lost their jobs. So that's what I said in the intro, that at some point in time, your wage is not going to be your major source of income. It's actually what you own. So if we look at this, it's the government transfers and property ownership. Government transfers are, in the Trinidad language, that is what? COLA, cost of living allowance. So we would not survive if government is now providing help to all its citizens. Where's the government going to get the money from? You understand? And even if they do it, I mean, some places in the US are talking about a universal basic income. But at best, that will help you maintain some sort of minimum shelter, rent for minimum shelter, and some sort of food, and maybe pay for utilities at best. It's not going to buy you the things you want. What's going to be built on top of that, the income you're going to generate on top of government transfers, is going to be what you own, property ownership. It's your shares, it's your stocks. However, they are going to have to design new systems where you can get tokenized ownership of these new, let's say, uh, databases and these new companies that's going to be coming out in the future. But that needs to be discussed from now, because we're not talking about 50 years in the future. We're talking about 10, 15 years. Already, if you look at the news, people are becoming unemployed. Companies, especially companies in Trinidad, they're just going to implement what they see the US and the Europe has. The multinational companies, they're going to implement systems. In my company right now, we already have this chat GPT like program. And people are starting to discuss, well, maybe they would not need any more engineers now that we have this chat GPT type program in our company. It's happening right now, but no one's discussing it. What happens in Trinidad when AI systems begin replacing humans in the job? And it will happen in government agencies too. What is our government agency? One big administrative building. We accept people sit there, they get data from citizens, they store data, they manipulate that data to get an output. That's definitely an agent, an AI agent solution for that job. And that happens in all our jobs, all our ministries. Once they become digitized, we can replace everyone in our ministries. That's thousands of people that's going to be unemployed in the near future, and no one's talking about it. And the companies that resist changing, they'll just be wiped out by the competition that has already integrated AI into their system, because their product will be cheaper, service will be faster, and people will naturally gravitate towards those new companies. So, going back to the example from China, I think Prestige Holdings have maybe 2,000, 2,500 people working in their restaurants. It can all be replaced with AI technology and autonomous systems right now as we speak. What's going to happen to them? CPEP, it has robots coming out that can clean the bush. It has autonomous robots not right now that can pick up the garbage. So yes, there will be some humans involved in the workflow process, but it's not going to be the hundreds or thousands of jobs like it is today. This is what needs to be spoken about right now. What does the post-labor economics of Trinidad looks like? And how can we prepare ourselves from now? For me and you and this channel, this should be incentivizing you even more. Not about profits. This is just about survival. We need to now increase our ownership into stocks, because that's the only way. Look at it. Either you depend without wages, either you depend on government, which you and I know that isn't going to happen, or we depend on income from what we own. That's the properties, that's the stocks, that's the bonds. Whatever you're donating to the stock exchange right now, you need to increase that over the next few years, because at some point in time, an artificial intelligence agent is going to replace your job. That's the reality. And that's how you prepare yourself for the future. So, in the absence of wages, what do? We can't depend on government transfers. And these government transfers are about like unemployment relief programs. Maybe CPEP can be considered another other state sponsored unemployment relief subsidies. If we can't depend on that, then we can only look at property based income. And this, as I said, will include some sort of universal basic income, which actually would be provided by the state. But then we need to now double down on property ownership mechanisms. So beyond just stocks and bonds, we have to look at our Heritage and Stabilization Fund. How can people invest in our Heritage and Stabilization Fund so that they can now get dividends from that fund? We need to look at tokenizing other state entities so that citizens are able to invest in those entities and gain a residual income. A royalty trust, private collective property. These are the sort of things that our government and labor leaders need to look at. Of course, there will still be jobs that have to be done by humans. It can be part-time jobs, and this will still provide you with a residual wage. But in totality, without your main source of income being a wage, the only alternative is property-based income. And this is the conversation we need to start having as a society. And I'm going to close off on this. Since no one in the Trinidad sphere, I'm not seeing any economists talking about it, then you need to put your own house in order. You need to now start doubling down on your investments, your property-based investment as an individual. Because as we transition to this agentic future, property values are going to go up as it becomes more in demand when people slowly realize, hey, this is the only way I can get an income. And that will double and triple your wealth. And yes, there is going to be a huge disparity between the haves and the have-nots, especially if the government doesn't manage this transition. So, between you and me, you need to start focusing on investing. That's the bottom line. Finally, I'm going to leave you with an interview from CNN. In the interview, we have Mr. Dario Amode, who is an American artificial intelligence researcher and entrepreneur. He is the co-founder and CEO of Anthropic, which is the company behind the large language model series Claude. He was previously the vice president of research at OpenAI. So he's a lot more knowledgeable than all of us in terms of the direction that artificial intelligence is going and the possible impact on society. So let's have a listen.
You know, people have adapted to past technological changes, but I'll say again, everyone I've talked to has said this technological change looks different. It looks faster. It looks harder to adapt to. It's broader. The pace of progress keeps catching people off guard. And so I don't know exactly how fast, the job concerns are going to come. I don't know how fast people are going to adapt. It's possible it'll all be okay, but I think that's too sanguine an approach. I think we do need to be raising the alarm. I think we do need to be concerned about it. I think policymakers do need to worry about it. If they do worry and they do act, then maybe we can prevent it. But we're not going to prevent it just by saying everything's going to be okay.
Now that you have seen this, you can no longer claim that you did not know. And you are going to remember this when it happens, whether it's 5 years, 6 years, 7 years from now. But it's going to happen. And it's going to happen in under 10 years. So I see people around me living life as normal, and no one is having this conversation. So let me know in the comments, what do you think the post-labor economics of Trinidad is going to look like in the very near future. I don't think it's a debate that it's going to happen. We are well on the way to that future. So let me know in the comments.